What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's a victory show after getting the job done in the 2-0 victory away to Pisa. And you see it right there in the headline. Is Juve hot or not? Look, ugly wins count too. And at the end of the day, Kalulu comes through and delivers for Juventus. But Spalletti, did Kalulu save his blushes? Hey, one way or another, the numbers are in favor of Spalletti, and there's a lot to tackle in this one, and we're going to have fun doing so. I got Trim with me today. Brother, how you doing?
Buongiorno. Good morning to everybody in the chat, in the army, to you, Berto. It's a great day. Victory show. It's always fun. The play notwithstanding, I mean, it didn't look pretty, obviously, but we got it done, so we got to keep rolling and on to the next one. So no, looking forward to dissecting this one as much as we can. But yeah, it wasn't pretty, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know what? They don't have to be pretty. They just have to be wins. This one was a must-win. Juve gets the job done. We're going to tackle everything in the aftermath. We're also going to have a lot of fun because today we're going to give this bad boy away. Okay? So the new third kit, Kenan Yildiz on the back. That's going to a lucky subscriber. And our lucky legend status member, one of them is going to take home this bad boy today. The 120th anniversary, all right? So we got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to do covering this one, all right? First up, headlines. There's sweet FA, okay, in the headlines today, all right? And FA, fuck all, okay? Yeah. You've got a swap that Juve is considering for Nkunku from Milan, okay? So you probably have to expect that Gatti's like in that one or whatever. But yeah, we're not paying too much attention to that because it's coming from Repubblica. Repubblica is also Scanavino's paper. So yeah, junk, absolute junk. And then you have the fact that Juve, it's being put out there, is going to approach Marco Senesi for a pre-contract in January to pick him up on a free at season's end. I still say Muharemovic, bring him back, and then get a strong, solid CB to come in. That's just me. Anything to touch on with the whole Senesi pre-contract thing, Trim?
So is he more of a CB or can he play outside as well? Because I thought he plays outside.
I think he could play outside and CB. He's like a center back, left back type thing.
So
but
my rebuttal to you is why not both him and Muharemovic? Because I wouldn't mind him outside.
Because I still think you need a top option. So if you're going to go with a hybrid player, give me the left-footed youngster that's super promising, that carries more promise than Senesi, who's 29, I believe.
Yeah, he's an older.
Kind of plateaued, you know? Yeah, give me Muharemovic and bring me like an experienced, legit CB also. Like, those are two I'd go for. The one time we actually do the right thing with a young guy, we got a 50% sell-on clause. Can we actually, like,
bring him back?
Make do with it, you know? That's my thing. But yeah, whatever. That's it for headlines, everybody. Now we get to this actual match here yesterday against Pisa and then everything in the aftermath, okay? So, your starting 11. Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, Cambiaso, Locatelli, you had Thuram, and obviously McKennie, but you had Cope Miners, Yildiz, Openda. The second I saw Kelly and Cope Miners' name out there, and then proceeded to find Thuram and Locatelli, I immediately thought, what the fuck? So Trim, what did you think when you saw that lineup?
Yeah, it was strange because even for pre-match, you guys had up the graphic of who was supposed to go in, and we were even questioning McKennie to be in that right-hand side kind of 10-ish role with Yildiz on the left, right? And we were like, Weston is better outside. So, you know, come the start of the match when I got to the fan club, sat down to watch, and you see the lineup posted, and you're like, Coop playing in that role. And we just started laughing. Matteo and I were like, how many times have we heard him say he doesn't like playing in that spot? And Luciano's still trying to hammer him in there with just like Tudor did and Motta ahead of him prior to him, right? So I mean, that was the one change I would have definitely made. Is I would have started Jagrova personally, We'll get to him as he came in because he entered well when he did come in, but just to kind of change it up because he knew Chico wasn't there. That was the obvious swap. So unless Luciano's telling everybody he is fit 100%, but he's still kind of fighting it because he's not getting full game action, right? So yeah, that was the strange one for me. Other than that, I didn't really have too much issue with anybody else out there. It was just Coop in that spot. That was the kicker for me.
Yeah, I mean, to go there, even just everything, the way it was lined up.
Yeah.
Having McKennie go back to the left side, Cambiasso on the right, it's like we were doing things that were unnecessary, I thought. Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, it is Pisa. I know they're keeping their games close, but Jesus, they don't score goals. We need to just take advantage of it. So at the end of the day, I really didn't care. It was just get the damn job done, okay?
Yeah.
Get the job done. So we get to the action, and we look at, would any of this play a factor in this game? I'd have to say at the start in that first half, it definitely did. That first half was ugly. It was an ugly, ugly first half. Juve, for the opening 5 minutes, seemed like really gung-ho, and they were going at them, and they were pinning them back, but we weren't getting anything crazy out of them, but the pressure was there. We seemed relentless for the opening, 5 and a bit minutes, winning the ball back quickly and just continuing to pin them. But as the half went on, it was like, okay, Pisa started to get more possession, started to play, became a little bit of a back and forth, and we just had no real attacking rhythm. And it caps off with them almost scoring in the 44th minute off just a nothing cross. Moreo heads it, like while moving away from goal, heads it back towards, and that thing is, no keeper's going to get to that thing. It was like whipped in there and just heading right to the upper 90, short side, and it hits the bar and comes out, and I'm thinking, my God, you guys, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here in Pisa? Okay, halftime hits. I'm immediately saying, you got some changes to make, and you got to make some decisions, because Cambiasso's on a shocker, Thuram's asleep, Cope Miners is doing nothing in that role. Okay, you need somebody attack-minded up there. So for me, it's like, you got to make a decision whether you go with 2 strikers. Maybe this is the game for 2 strikers. David and Openda with Yildiz as a free roam, left to right in behind. Or you bring on Miretti. But this whole Cope Miners in that advance role is just an absolute joke. And I don't know how each coach keeps falling for this, but it ain't happening. So he had to make that change. Cambiasso and McKennie, at the very least, needed to switch back sides, because McKennie, the only way you're going to get the best out of him is on the outside right. And Cambiasso is better on the right than the left, in my opinion. But to be honest, I don't know. This guy is just, it doesn't seem to matter because the consistency ain't there.
Yeah, agree.
So Spalletti had a bunch of decisions to make, but I was saying you cannot go out again as is and expect changes in this game, because it was pretty broken, in my opinion. Trim, what'd you think at the half? Same thing?
Yeah, no, same kind of, not really much to add. The only thing is, and I know we were kind of discussing it at the table where I was sitting yesterday, and I was like, defensively, we looked pretty good. So I was kind of thinking, and again, it's not because he affected the game in a negative way. He played just fine, but I was thinking, like, in terms of Bremer, I was worried about maybe, don't want to overextend him too much. So I was thinking, okay, you have the option to, if you do take Coop out of that spot, put Coop in the back line, take Bremer off to rest him, because it's Pisa. You don't want to risk anything. So I was like, maybe thinking of taking Coop out of that spot, putting Jagrova in on that right-hand side, and then you can drop Coop back to play with Kelly and Kalulu, and at least you've got still another formidable back line to take Pisa on, because again, like, the 3 of them have played pretty well together. So that's what I would have done. As for like Cambiasso, I have to kind of give him his props, because I was pretty hard on him the last little while, and he's turned it around in the last few matches. Yesterday notwithstanding, though, to be fair, like you said, he was he did have a pretty rough game. So it's weird. Yeah, he seems more comfortable on the right, but to your point, McKennie on that left side, it's not working out. So I think we have, like, now we're starting to see some positions formed in terms of like concrete spots. So we know McKennie's got to play that right side, outside right. Cambiaso's got to stick on the left. If you take Weston out and you put someone else on that left-hand side, you can shift Cambiaso over to the right, but we have to find someone to play that spot. But otherwise, yeah, I was surprised we came out with the same lineup to start the half. I was like, no, I would have made some changes right away.
Yeah, and the second half, I mean, geez, they were hot right off the start. Like, Pisa was coming at us. I was like, you're gonna have to make changes. 48th minute, Pisa start off on the front foot, and they get a free kick, and this one is blocked, and actually the block helped it. Just shave the outside of the goal on the far side there. 58th minute, Tremoni with a header off the post. So now you've got a crossbar. You've got a post. And it's like, can we make some changes? Can we make some changes? Please. And I don't want to listen to the shit about Pisa and, they're tougher and they're unlucky and stuff like that. No, this team cannot score goals. And they quite possibly could have had 3 at this point on us by the 58th minute, because towards the end of the first half, there were several moments that we looked sketchy. They're coming up the right flank. Kelly just stood there, frozen, 25 yards back, allowed Toure to just put in a dangerous cross right across the goal. Lucky that the first run didn't connect, and lucky there was nowhere back post to just tap that thing in. It was brutal, but I don't want to hear about Pisa, like, being so tough and all this. No, they cannot score goals. They've got 12 goals in all their games so far in Serie A, and they could have had 3 by the 58th minute. Don't kid yourself. That's not good enough from Juve. So finally, you'll start to see some changes. Things start to evolve. We start to kind of claw back. Lloyd Kelly hammers one off the post. Short side.
Unlucky. Yeah, that
was
a nice one.
Lashed at that thing. Semper may have gotten a piece to it. There was a little bit of talk that he might have just touched it enough to take that one enough to hit the post, but I don't think so. Absolute smash, though. As far as those changes, David comes in the 60th minute for Openda. Shagrova comes in for Locatelli in the 60th minute. Okay? And then you keep going on. We talk about this Lloyd Kelly miss. 73rd minute. Shagrova did this a bunch of times. And imagine this. Imagine pulling in an attacker and all of a sudden your attack looks better. Like getting a midfield out of an advanced role where an attacker should be and all of a sudden your attack looks better. Weird how that happens.
Yeah.
Shagrova did this a ton of times yesterday, but my God, he could just stand there and the defender's so zoned in on is he going to go right, left, whatever, and he just keeps poking the ball past in these little slots. So time and time again, it's either David, it's Cambiaso. They just keep moving in behind. And he just darts it in there, and it just keeps finding them in behind, and then all of a sudden, Pisa scrambling, right? So Shagrova into Cambiaso, who now all of a sudden you see Cambiaso and McKennie there. We went rogue. Like Cambiaso did switch over to the left. McKennie's on the right. And Cambiaso's all of a sudden on the right side, top corner of the box. He collects this ball, quickly plays it out to McKennie. McKennie has a cross in there. This thing takes 30 bobbles between Kalulu and Calabrese there, okay? And finally gets into the net. I don't care at all how this thing goes in. It goes in there. Boom. 1-0 good, guys. Yep. Holy smokes. Hey, I don't care how it goes in. Just get that ball over the line. That's what I needed to see, man. Attack, send numbers, create mismatches, create problems. That's how you break these teams down. I loved it. We take the 1-0 there. 81st minute, Juve work it off the left over to the top of the box. Shagrova hits a good one here. Forces a save from Semper. Then you get to the 91st minute. David leads a rush. Everyone, and I know this would have happened, so Yildiz is on the left, and he's fucking screaming bloody murder, whatever. Nice little pass in from David to Miretti. Miretti does an incredible job. The feint was just lovely. Now, unfortunately, he bobbles the touch and he has to extend and toe poke this thing just to get it over to his teammates. David extends, and if it was only David there, it probably would have not have been a goal because he had to corral that thing. But Yildiz is right there, taps it home. It's 2-0. Dude, the subs came in and had an impact. Yeah. And you know what? I think this game was a little bit tougher than it should have been because of the decisions made at prior. That's all I'm going to say. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, whether it's ugly or pretty. This was a must-win, and Juve got the job done. They got the job done. But Trim, your thoughts on the goals, thoughts on Miretti, Zigrova, etc., real quick before we get to the actual takeaways in the aftermath.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have to commend Spalletti in the sense of getting the subs right. He's been doing that consistently throughout, I think, his tenure here. I think that's safe to say. Now, as for the timing of the subs, it's been hit and miss depending on the game. But for the most part, the last little stretch, he was doing well in terms of like knowing when to make those subs and which guys to put in. I think yesterday's performance yesterday's game overall was not the best decision making in terms of starting lineup. So you could see he didn't get it right. So hopefully he can kind of, when he looks back at the match, reevaluate and say, okay, I got the lineup wrong to start, which kind of set the game with that kind of a tone in the first half, and they were like half asleep. Quickly regrouped into the second half, got the subs right. The timing for me was not the greatest in the sense of, I think you said 74th minute is when they put David and Zigrova in. I would have liked them a little bit sooner, and then even towards the end of the match when we actually saw Joao Mario sighting for like a minute or two, which was kind of funny. I wish if he was going to be put in, you put him in a little bit sooner. Miretti as well. I know Cugino Eddie's been saying it in the chat so far today, just saying about needing to see Miretti more, and it's true. Like I would have liked to see him in there sooner because you needed that kind of attacking presence in the final third because you could just see they had nothing going in the first half. So, but overall, yeah, the goals weren't pretty. I know a lot of people are kind of being harsh on David just because of his reputation in the last 5 months or so, 4 months or so since he's been here with, missing some sitters, but you could see he knew Yildiz was behind him, and that's why he kind of did that little extension just to get a touch on it. And thankfully Yildiz was onside because I know that at the club there we were kind of all yelling, wait, we got to see if it's offside because we were all thinking they might call it back, but
no, I don't know. I think it's Miretti toe poke that thing just to get the ball over to those guys. I think it was just the ball's flying at you. You just stopped it. If he was solo, he ain't putting that thing in the net.
No,
man.
Exactly, and that's
he's not putting that thing in the net. And I don't think he stopped
knew he was
it
behind him though.
He's just literally trying whatever to stop the ball. It was a toe poke from point blank range. Anybody that's played the game knows that when you're in tight like that, and one of your teammates throws one off, if like sharply like that, is what it is. I don't really care about that much. It went over the line, but at the end of the day, we got to look at this game. I kind of have a little bit of mixed feelings when we're talking about the praise for Spalletti because I literally think that it's hard to praise when I think you made it more complicated than it needed to be. So in fixing those errors, it's hard to really compliment fully, right? I would have liked to see this team line up properly for the opponent and what was expected right out of the get-go. And I still have some questions, and we'll get to it in the player performance section, about certain guys and certain decisions Spalletti is making. So we'll get to this. And again, it's nothing too crazy because overall, the guy's been around for 12 games. We've got 8 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. So it's still moving in the right direction. My main opinion of Spalletti so far is that it's going great, to be honest. 7 of those 8 wins are literally in the last 8 games. So, yeah, don't worry. We're not getting crazy, but I do have some, things because we must always strive to improve. You can't ever be complacent. Don't forget that. So let's take a look at the stat line when you finish this game. Then we'll get into player ratings, which actually dominate a lot of the discussions in the post-match for this game, but it ends there with 2-0 Juve. You've got 59% possession for Juve. You have 15 total attempts with one big chance for Juve created, 8 total attempts for Pisa, 1 big chance created. They hit the woodwork twice. Juve hit the woodwork once, okay? In terms of your player ratings, first, we got to go back to a little segment that has kind of been abandoned, but we need to bring back. And we're going to need the AJC Army to help as well when you guys are on the cesspool that is Twitter or X, okay? When you're out there, but you find these things and you think they're good, you want to see them highlighted on the show, we'll throw you a little shout out and some credit as well. But this is the AJC tweet of the match from yesterday, okay? And, oh, wait a second. Nerazzurri Society? Pio Esposito is now the most expensive U20 striker in the world. Okay, so that's not it, okay? The follow-up is the AJC tweet of the match because it was just hilarious. Lloyd Kelly is now the most expensive 27-year-old center back called Lloyd in the world. Boom! AJC tweet of the match. That response is just priceless. That's hilarious, awesome. Okay? Good stuff there from Salvo, okay? Love to see it. Love to see it. Now, the ratings. Di Gregorio, 6.6. Kalulu, 8.4. Bremer, 6.8. Kelly, the most expensive Lloyd in the world. At center back, that's 27 years old, 7.2. Cambiaso, 6.6. Locatelli, 7.4. Thuram, 6.4. McKennie, 6.9. Cope Miners, 6.9. Yildiz, 8.2. Openda, 6. Okay? We'll go off these ratings and whatnot and now kind of break things down. Who's your man of the match, Trim? Officially, it was Kalulu.
Yeah, it's hard to argue, honestly. Like, it's hard to argue with against Kalulu because he's just been solid all around. Like, guy hasn't missed a minute, played every minute of every match, just been consistently solid. Literally didn't put a wrong foot forward at all, contributing offensively. We were kind of laughing actually on that first one how we need our strikers to be up top to receive those balls to try to make something happen in the 18-yard box, and we've got Cambiaso, you've got Kalulu up there, like it's all of our defensive line just pushing up to try to get those goals, and God knows when Gatti comes back from injury he's going to be up there too, right? But so we had a good chuckle about that because Openda and David, for whatever reason, couldn't get it done yesterday. But yeah, no, it's hard to argue against Kalulu. Honestly, he's been, I think, the unsung hero for me throughout the season. Just been so consistent. So he was definitely my man of the match.
If I'm looking at this game, it's like difficult for a man of the match for the complete opposite of the match prior, which was against Roma. For a different reason, because I don't think many actually did really stand out as a man of the match performance. Kalulu for me, I was saying if I had to pick one, it'd probably be him. He was just a constant. Did he make errors in passing? Oh yeah. Yeah. Did he ever? Everybody else made a lot of errors, but he was a constant. And he was still trying to urge them forward and get up there, albeit even if it wasn't pretty. And the guy, it's crazy. He keeps going and going and going. And the ridiculous amount of minutes, the fact he's played every minute of every match available to Juve right now, the fact that he's avoided the black hole that is J Medical, it's crazy.
Impressive. Yeah.
I think yesterday nobody really stood out. You can make the shout for, if I was going to make shouts for others, Yildiz was good, but didn't really impose himself into the game as much as you would like. Zigrova was good off the bench, but again, for man of the match, I don't think so. Miretti was good off the bench, but for man of the match, I don't think so. I think I got to go with Kalulu. I think I really have to go with Kalulu. We're going to get to some of these other performances, etc. But, man, Has Kalulu become the beating heart of Juve?
Hard to argue against it, honestly. Like he drives play forward whenever he gets a chance. Like you said, passing notwithstanding, I think it's game to game where, some games it's better than others. Yesterday was one where he had a few not so good passes, but I was kind of blaming that on just the overall for the team, like coming back after the break from Natale, like it's, going to be a little bit sluggish. So I think that's kind of what we saw. So once they get back into consistent training, I think it'll ramp up again, especially, going back to the Roma match, like it was like night and day. That was probably one of our better performances and overall and more dominant wins per se. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in terms of beating hard, he's definitely the guy. I think Bremer could make a case for it, but because he's just like slowly working his way back from injury, it's going to take him some time to settle in. But it's going to be one of those two guys. But Kalulu is the guy right now for sure.
Man, is Kalulu Juve's beating heart? It's hard to argue against it. You're absolutely right. I mean, again, every single minute of this season is crazy.
Yeah.
The black hole, the soul snatcher, whatever you want to call J Medical. Knock on wood. Center back is 1,000% the position for Kalulu, the right position for him. He's made it his own. I can't believe it. It's seriously impressive to play that much consistently and have the energy and drive to play every single minute like it's the first of the match is actually insane. The guy's got an engine like I don't think I've ever seen before. And he's been massive for us. He's been massive for us in that right center back position. And I think it's kind of flown under the radar in terms of, just everybody else that we are looking at and shining a light on at times. And, you get into the star boy Yildiz and Chico Conceição, etc. But like, you look at this guy, it's been super clean. His pace is huge. It saved us time and time again in certain moments. Yeah, it's crazy. He's playing a big part for this Juve, and it doesn't look like he's going to get a rest anytime soon, so thank God he can do it, okay? But Kalulu, he's been massive, and I think he deserves his flowers at this point in time, okay? Now, we talked about some outsiders here in terms of man of the match, etc. Zhigrova, Miretti, Yildiz, etc. But, Kalulu, did he actually save Spalletti's blushes in this one? If you can't really take man of the match, if you're looking at this game and you're looking at the guys coming in to being potentially in man of the match discussion, were Spalletti's blushes saved? I kind of have to say that yes. I think he overcomplicated this game. You don't have Chico Conceição in there. That's not the need to put Cope Miners up there. McKennie is strong on the outside right. Don't like him in the middle of the park. Not as effective, can do a job on the left outside, but that's if Cambiasso is steamrolling and you want Cambiasso out on the right. But that hasn't really been happening. So Cambiasso on the left for the sake of you don't have a better outside left player, Mac on the right. There was no need to get crazy with that. There was no need. You had a direct replacement for Chico in Zhigrova. If he can't start the game because he had a fever for a couple days, okay, Miretti. Like, you didn't have to overcomplicate things. And the biggest thing here is you fought against continuity. And I fucking hate that. And I've been adamant about that with Motta, adamant about that with Tudor. When something is going good, why on earth do you not let them gain some continuity and rhythm and momentum? One fucking guy out that you needed to deal with. But you had to switch those other positions. What for? No need. No need to experiment in this one. To his credit, he reacted. and he corrected it. But he also did so late. Spalletti's been great at making changes right at halftime when they absolutely have to happen. But yesterday, he waited till like 60th until Pisa was on the front foot coming at us at the beginning of the second half. I think Spalletti got a little bit lucky. A little bit lucky there. A little bit lucky yesterday. What do you think?
Yeah. It's definitely fair to say. I mean, like we said, we kind of set the tone for the match with the lineup being what it was and his call, right? And to your point, it's one player that's out in that position, and you have other guys that can fill that role instead of force feeding and jamming Coop in there, which we know he's not comfortable there, and he just doesn't look good there, which is strange because I know at Atalanta it might not be the exact position, but he did play 3 across. It was either in the center or the right, like and trailing runs coming in, but just the way that we kind of build up and play, it doesn't suit his game and him in that position. So he definitely did get lucky because the boys didn't come out ready to start the match. That's for sure. Like first couple minutes we said, but other than that, the first half was a shocker, and we almost conceded. So one of those posts or crossbars goes in, we're down 1. And, things would look a lot different today. That's for sure.
You've got Miretti, who, when you're looking at playing Pisa and you're looking at going to this game, they're one of 15, 16 sides in Serie A that play 3-5-2, okay? You know what you're going to see. You know what you're going to expect. Spalletti is doing well with Juve, but he's not a fucking wizard, okay? He's not going to all of a sudden make Cope Miners just fucking, I just needed this bald man on the sideline, and now all of a sudden this role I'll make my own. No, he's not a fucking wizard. He's not a fucking genie. It's something that didn't have to happen. Miretti, this guy, I keep saying it, he can't just be left on the bench because nobody connects the others as good as Miretti. Mm-hmm. Nobody connects striker to Chico to Yildiz or vice versa better in this lineup than Miretti. The issue here right now, as I see it, is the fact that when Chico's in, Chico is undeniable. People fought me on that yesterday, but I said, and I stand behind it, and they said, well, we'll find out yesterday. I was like, well, it is Pisa, but fuck, you still ended up finding out, Chico is as important to this side as Yildiz. Miretti might have to come into play for Thuram because you want Chico, you want Yildiz out there, you want a striker up there, but my God, I'm telling you, Miretti connects it all wonderfully. If Locatelli is going to continue to be used in the middle of the park, you need guys that can take advantage of the freedom that he offers. And yesterday, Cambiasso did not. Cope Miners did not. Thuram did not. There's no point in having a guy like Locatelli who can give you guys that freedom to push forward and hold it down. There's no fucking point. So, for me, if I'm looking at this thing, Spalletti at the start, I don't think he played it to the best for the opponent there. Even Openda. I said David would have probably been a better play in terms of linking everything together. I'd go as far to say if Miretti and David started that game, it wouldn't have been so difficult. And we would have linked up better right off the hop. And I wouldn't have been surprised if we came out with the lead at half. Just saying it. Just laying it out there.
Yeah, thank you for saying that because I don't want to be, get the stones thrown at me for mentioning about David because you could see it yesterday. Like, Openda's got the speed, but the problem is, what does Pisa play? 3-5-2, low block. You cannot build up with Openda as the striker, in my opinion. You need David in that spot. And then furthermore, you force feed Coop in that spot on the right side. When you're going and trying to attack from the right side, he's not going to help build up the way that a guy like Miretti would. So, to your point, it would have been a lot different with those two guys in the match. And then you saw towards the end, mind you, we did get the goal from Kalulu, so it helped stretch the field a bit more. But when David's in there, you needed those little 1-2 pass sequences and triangles set up throughout the midfield to build up, and that's what I like about David. So to your point, like it would have been a lot different with those guys in there, but hey, at the end of the day, it's on Spalletti to just, like you said, continuity. I don't know. I can't stress that enough.
You got momentum in terms of like the results, but it's really got to ramp up to the players and their roles and rhythm and chemistry. That's where it's at now. And going with that, right? Gio's coming here saying Cambiasso wasn't that bad. Look, when Juve doesn't put in a solid shift, it's broken. And when it's broken, these guys can give you moments where they're involved, where they come up with something good, and then they give you a ton of disastrous moments. There was a lot of that game yesterday that looked like a circus. Cambiasso took a throw-in that was literally right to the opposition in our half. It was it was beyond embarrassing. But he had gloves on. Well, then don't be a bitch and take the gloves off. It's not even that fucking cold, man. Come over to Canada. I'll show you cold. Man up. Sack up. That was embarrassing, okay? It was broken. It needed to be better. I don't think Cambiasso put forth a good performance. Was he the worst? No. Kefren Thuram was terrible, and I was calling for his head at halftime. Are we concerned with Thuram? Has it reached the point where there is legitimate concern about him?
For me, yeah. And I think there were many opportunities yesterday where he had the ball in our half, and Pisa players were kind of backtracking and giving him the space to run. And we know that's his strength, is to carry the ball forward, run, maybe beat a guy or two and find an open seam or an open lane to pass it and dish it off to one of your teammates. And there were quite a few times where he wasn't doing it. So I wonder, is it just confidence? Is he fighting something? Kind of what's going on? So for me personally, I wouldn't mind maybe seeing a little bit of a change up there and having him kind of start on the bench and then coming in for spot duty, giving that role or that position on the field to, let's say, Miretti, getting Miretti in there, seeing a little bit of a change. Again, we don't want to experiment too much because we just kept saying about the continuity with the players and how well they've been playing overall as a whole in the last little stretch here. But yeah, I think it's safe to say we can have a little bit of reservation or fear that it's going to start to decline for Thuram and not get better. So we got to try to nip that in the bud and get him back to where he should be. And maybe it's just something as simple as a rest to start the match in the next one and go from there.
I've got an interesting take when it comes to Kefren Thuram here that I'm going to kind of spitball on it. But let's get some of the takes here. Like, are you concerned about him? Alex Juve FC right away, no. Gio, yes, all season. We've got I am worried of Thuram and Cambiasso, both of them. Tuna says the alarm bells need to be ringing right now. Okay. Yeah. We got some concern there. If you're looking at the poll I put out there, pause, 60% say yes. 60% yes. Huh.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thuram, I'm going to say this. He is a prime example of matching your players to the opponent, to the game. I heard this a lot yesterday. He can't play in a midfield or in a pivot. But then others were saying he can't play when there's three in the midfield. It's too crowded. Nonsense. Kefren Thuram played in a three-man midfield before coming to Juventus.
Yeah.
Last year, he was solid. And he was playing in a pivot all year with Loca. No issues. I think it's the games. It's the style. He's at his best. And he knows he's at his best. Kefren Thuram when he's driving at the opponents. When he's got that space to operate and maneuver. The problem with Thuram is that when the space closes down, he freezes.
Yeah.
And if it's not driving, if it's just normal around the area play against a set up low defense, he's got no ideas. He doesn't do anything. And I don't know why. This also, not a problem only with him. Why the hell do our players not want to shoot the damn ball?
Yeah. From outside the 18, it was too many passes and just...
Why? David turned in the 70th minute, staring right at the fucking net. Shoot the ball. Cambiasso, top of the area. Lets one go early, misses, and then never fires again. Locatelli, one volley left-footed, ended up... It was a rocket right at Semper.
Yeah.
But these guys get up there, and Thuram got there a couple times. Shoot the ball. When it gets tight and congested, Thuram's game is invisible. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. That has to change for Thuram. I don't believe it's a formation thing. It's not a setup thing, okay? He needs to literally take that part of his game and elevate it. You can't go from one season where that's the only thing you have to clean up. We were like, man, if he could just push that needle offensively, you've got yourself a demon. You can't now all of a sudden go into ghosting, you know?
Yeah, no, fair, yeah. It's almost like it's based on opponent, I guess, because like we said, if we're playing a low block and you're trying to force feed him in there and he's not taking those lanes, because again, like Pisa left the defenders when they were transitioning from offense to defense and we were running forward with the ball, and he had the ball many times. You usually see him streak down those lanes and, like I said, draw a defender towards him, and that opens up the passing lane for him and he makes the right decision. Or he will manage to beat that guy and then try to force it towards another defender. But for whatever reason yesterday, he was just fumbling the ball. And to your point, like, it was driving me crazy when it was still 0-0 second half, top of the box, and we're just fumbling it around from one guy to the next guy, going cross from left to right, left to center to right, and right to center to left. Nobody's shooting the ball. It's like, it's the most frustrating thing. Everybody's just afraid to shoot because they send it like a missile just way wide and they miss completely. It's like, shoot the ball.
This is another reason why I'm a little hesitant to just go like, oh, Spalletti, ton of praise. Like, what the fuck was the game plan yesterday with the back post crossing to nobody?
Yeah, that was brutal.
Cross. You got one damn guy in there.
Yeah.
And the crosses were off. Speaking to this Thuram point, okay, where he's got one area of his game where he's got to step it up. Look, why on earth at Juventus can we not improve one facet of players' games? How come when there's an issue, it's an issue for the entire duration of a season, sometimes multiple? Corner kicks. I've never seen such piss poor corner kicks in my life.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who. It's just junk. How can you not improve on that? If you have a player that gets in position all the time to shoot from range and he can't shoot the damn ball, put that motherfucker on the pitch and let him shoot 7,000 until it's just automatic that this guy's putting him on target. How on earth do we not improve on simple things in a game when these guys train every damn day? It blows me away. It really does. Yeah. You know? That's a side mental thing I got that's just eating me up inside when I watch our set pieces, our corners. Like, that's a side thing.
The two-man corners, too.
Oh,
can we scrap that? Can we just have one guy kicking the ball? Like, why do we need two guys in the corner there? It doesn't make sense. Like,
and Bremer's back in the lineup, and you got this guy, and you're pissing around here to just put it in the mixer and get a damn head on it, okay? Yeah. Look, I don't know why. I have no answer as to why we can't just improve on simple little things. But to just close things up on Thuram, am I concerned about Thuram? Yes, because I don't believe there's any outside factors. I don't believe that there's formation setup issues. I believe it is wholeheartedly him and finding influence in these games and figuring out how to be effective when the space is closed down. That's great. He can drive out of the midfield, but when the space closes down, the decisions and the precision has to pick up. So am I concerned? Yeah, because that's on him. And it's not getting better. It's going in the opposite direction of last year. So I think there's a bit of a confidence dip. When you look at his interview where he spoke to the same exact things. I need to get better at shooting. My shooting's not good, whatever. Dude, okay, stop talking about it. Figure it out. You're 17 games into a season. Let's go. Should be mid-season form. Being able to hit targets. So, yeah, I've got a little concern. I'm going as far to say I think Thuram should come off the bench and work back into the starting 11. Do you agree with me on that one? Chat?
Yeah, I do. I definitely agree. And I think it's fair to have Moretti as the first one up for that position because he's brings something different that we're lacking from Thuram. So if we want a change up, someone who's going to be more offensive minded and be able to create with the short game passing to kind of help with build up, he's the guy. He's the guy to put in that position and roll from there. I think he could also be a really good mentor, or Locatelli can mentor him as well. I think he can really help him with kind of just, in terms of where to be out there and decision making. Loca can help him because he's kind of like a step back as a holding guy, right? They're going to play together, but I really feel like that partnership can develop and be strong. So it'd be nice to see it.
I go as far to say, if you have Chico and you have Yildiz out there, you put Loca and Coop as your two mids and let them operate from there. And then you have the balance because Loca can allow Co-Miners to still play from deep but move forward and get advanced. It doesn't have to just be Thuram or Moretti for that matter. Right. It could be Loca Moretti, it could be Coop Moretti, but I think Cope's going to have to play in one of those roles if he's not playing at the back line, which has been his best position, left center back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation because DAZN, during their broadcast, claimed that Locatelli had come off and asked Spalletti why he was getting subbed and that Spalletti was short with him and whatever. All I saw on the feed was a handshake and then the camera cut out. So the announcers were making something out of this on DAZN. Keep in mind, DAZN gets their footage from Fubo. Fubo doesn't have announcers at the game all the time. They're commenting on it from a broadcast booth, watching it. So
I'm
gonna kind of steer clear of that one because I don't know 100% and it could all be just complete BS. But DAZN gets its footage from Fubo. Fubo doesn't always have broadcasters actually in the stadium. Just saying.
And not to shit on those guys, but we all know very well here in North America, specifically up here in Canada, the guys that do our matches and how they talk about Juve and what they... So let's just, pump the brakes a bit, everybody.
I'm telling you right now, just commentators in general are shocking, okay? Yeah. And big shout out to Roast Beefs who says, Berto, you do better than them. The bar's not set high, but I still take that as comments, so thank you.
100%, though. It's fact. It is.
Now, so we're going to steer clear of that drama because, again, it's 7 wins out of the last 8. What can we spark up here? What can we mix up here for old Juve, La Vecchia Signora? Because drama, we can't seem to escape it, even when things are finally going well. But look, whatever the decision is, there is a large group of the fan base that says, look, here we go again. Locatelli out and Juve pull into the victory. Yeah, I got a real simple answer for this one, man. How about it's the fact that the game changes when you actually play attacking players in attacking positions?
Could be that simple.
I didn't mind the Locatelli sub, though, if we're being honest about it, because he was on a yellow and the way the game was going. And Maresca, that official, that was actually probably the right call because Loca loves a good slide challenge and the way that game was going, and it was still contested. We weren't dominating the ball, really. It was a little bit back and forth. Yeah, I think it was the right call, but it's not the reason in my opinion, that we got the job done.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did have the one early in the first half where he slid in there and it looked like Maresca went over to him and said, okay, this is the warning for the first one. So he didn't give him a card on the first challenge. And then the second one, though, it was kind of iffy. I can't remember which one was where he beat the Pisa player to the ball and the Pisa guy actually stepped on his foot and he still got the warning for that. I think that might have been the first one. So the second one, you know, if you're going to give him the yellow, he did get in there and you kind of warned him already in the beginning of the match. So, you know,
so you get stepped on and you get the foul. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Stomped on right in front of him. Right in front of him.
And no review, nothing. Yeah.
It was shocking stuff. Shocking stuff. Look, we continue on. Yildiz, another good game, I got to say. Still was a good game for him. You know, gets a goal, whether it's a tap-in or not. He called it the easiest goal he'll ever score. Ties Del Piero, 6th all-time youngest, okay, scorers for Juve before turning 21. Get that damn deal done. Can we just get serious with this kid? Can we just get serious with him?
Like,
what are we doing? Just get it done. Get a release clause in there. Set the tone. Act serious. Act proper. Okay? Yeah. It's like we got this kid, and it's like we're acting like he's just nothing. It's mind-blowing.
What's with the bonus laden contract? Like, I get it. You want to give him bonuses, like, but just get it done. Add some bonuses on top of it, but like give him the fair salary. I think I don't think he'd balk at $6 million. Just give it to him and just call it a day. Like, it's jeez, man.
I'm laughing because you have meetings set up with Kostic in the spring. And you don't even have this Yildiz thing resolved, and media's running rampant with it, and they're just good. And like you got all these teams interesting, and you've got meetings set up with Kostic.
Well, and okay, to be fair, we know how well Weston's been playing, but even him, like, can't you just push those guys aside and be like, "We'll deal with you when we're ready"? Like, we have someone more important to deal with first. Like, I don't understand. Weston, McKennie, and Kostic are more important to get done than Yildiz. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. See, this whole he's a contract till 2029 thing has no bearing on the perception and how it is. You have to look at what's at hand here. You have a star. You have a star player. Juve lacks star power. You've got one. He's on a massive upwards trajectory, okay? He's got serious interest abroad. You've got a player like that may not even be holding out for the money. It might be the project because you've heard both sides of it. Yeah. It could be both. Could be this bonus-laden contract. It could be the fact that he wants to know what the plan is in the summer. The fact that you can't provide either to one damn star that you do have on the team is it's stupid. It looks Mickey Mouse. It looks Mickey Mouse. Okay? It really, really does. It's just like, wrap it up. Look serious. And again, does this not play in part for a guy that may be looking for project guarantees? It's like, guys, are we letting this just fucking linger? Like, we're just going to push this on like over and over. Like, if you give me the 10, you give me the captain's armband, you give me you can't just pony up to make me in the mix with the top guys for payment, and you can't just fill me in on, is there a serious plan in the summer? What are you attacking? I don't understand how it could be closed off. Unless maybe Yildiz is thinking about something else. I don't know, you guys.
Unless, and then to play devil's advocate, and again, I know this is wishful thinking, maybe it is done, and it's just like these guys are just drumming up all this speculation in the media to let the media run wild. But again, I don't like that look either. It's like you want to kind of have this, like you want people to perceive the club as like, we got our shit together, and this doesn't show that we've got our shit together. You know what I mean? Like, just everything around the club lately with getting rid of Tudor to switching to Spalletti, getting rid of Giuntoli in the summer, finally bringing in Ottolini, like all this stuff. I know it happens throughout teams' tenures and whatnot, but it's like, just this is your star player, and just get it out there, even if it is done. And it's like you're waiting for a specific date, because I know there were rumors a few months ago saying about they're waiting for the next calendar year financially to announce. It's like, if you're waiting for that, like, just save the speculation and all that crap in the media and just put it out there. It's done. Like, but
and Gio's saying, but why don't we restructure David's contract, give him less money if that's how it works? A contract is a contract. Sure, a contract is a contract, but there's a business relationship there. There's a business relationship there. And guess what? I see the comments there about NHL and whatnot. Football is a different world. The players have the power in football. They do.
Yeah, it's not apples.
If this guy says, I'm not happy, what are you going to do? Why even risk getting to that point? It's silly to me. It's silly. It's stupid. Wrap it up. Wrap it. What are you going to do? You're going to leave him on 1.7 because a contract is a contract? Okay, let's just keep him at 1.7 to 2029 because a contract is a contract. That's essentially what we're saying.
Yeah, the thing is,
nonsense. It's silly.
He could just pick up and leave. Yeah,
it's silly. You take care of your players. It's part of harmony. It's part of the relationship. You want to build with your pillars. You want to keep them happy. You want to keep things moving. What kind of example does it set to everybody else too? And if you want to talk about contracts that they try to make right, they did try to lower Dusan Vlahovic on several occasions. He refused. No. And that's his right to refuse. But that's part of the relationship too. Because now Juve could say whatever. Yeah. And this is why players have power. Because Juve can't say, well, fuck you. See you later. They could have, because they could have froze him out. But they chose not to. But they could have said F you. Because why? Relationships. It's not so clear-cut as just a contract is a contract. Sure, in the grand scheme of things, it is. But do you want your players happy, or do you want them to be pissed off and want to go somewhere else? Do you want Yildiz walking around at 1.7, producing what he's doing, while others are making 5, 6, 7 times that, not doing shit? It's simple. They got to get it done, and they need to shut the media down on the whole narrative. When I start hearing media outlets pump shit up about Tottenham can easily pay him more and we can only afford it, come on, just take care of business. Fuck are we talking about? Now, nonetheless, before you guys get me too fired up with this contract shit, come on, give me a break. Lock them up, Madonna. Now, we got some kits to give away, okay? We got some kits to give away. Let's have some damn fun. If you're tuning into this and you're not on YouTube, well, you might have fucked up. Get over to YouTube, subscribe as quick as you can, get in this chat, because somebody's going to win this kit right now, right this second, okay? So let's get in with it. Now, as always, look at everybody. I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Everybody's fired up now.
So, shall we rock this with a little bit of trivia? I always like going down memory lane with the rosters. You guys know that, okay? So, we're going to take it back, okay? We're going to take it back. Way back. And first, maybe I'll get some guys in the top 100 in this particular year to just give you guys some idea of where we're going. But the top 100 in here. Shares believe. Whitney Houston. My love is your love. Mariah Carey, I still believe. Wow, no scrubs. TLC.
Oh, banger. Love that one.
Genie in a Bottle. Every Morning, Sugar Ray.
Okay,
Living La Vida Loca.
This is my era, like, as a kid.
Slide by Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Angel by Sarah McLachlan. Fucking Moss is probably banging that one out right now, driving in his freaking
Thinking about Vega.
in his van there with a picture of Vega on the passenger side window. We're going back to 1999, everybody, okay? 1999.
99,
now,
that's right.
I'm going to take a player at random from our roster at that point in time. And we're going to see whoever guesses this player is going to take home this kit, okay? So, all right. 1999 roster. Start firing away. I'll bring you some clues as we go, okay?
Yeah.
Played for 9 clubs in his professional career.
Oof.
And that's a little bit of an asterisk because it's technically 8. Signed by a 9th. Did not play for that 9th.
Interesting. Okay.
Was a manager for about 6 years. Not for Juve, but was a manager for 6 years post-playing days. Has caps with the Azzurri.
Okay, so we're narrowing it down to it. He has to be an Italian, so that should help the chat a little bit.
Has Azzurri caps. I don't see him yet. No. Was involved in a huge situation in a massive match. A Derby d'Italia moment that forever went down. No.
Got Vieri, we got Maresca, we got Ferrara.
And there we go. We have a winner. I was just about to probably seal the deal on the hint, but Uliano. It is Uliano. Congratulations. OBBO. This bad boy is yours. 3rd kit. Well done. Congratulations. Reach out to us on any of our socials. DM. Send us your details and we'll send that one out. Congrats. Uliano was the choice. Now, for the 120th anniversary, these ones go out to our membership status holders, obviously legend status. And this 120th, Giuseppe Cataldo. Giuseppe Cataldo is the winner of the 120th anniversary. So big props there, okay? And the legends, guys, membership status, thank you for all your support, okay, in there. And you guys are all in your own exclusive giveaways. We got next month's, okay?
Oh, boy. We already got next month lined up. There we go.
Where do you think we're going with this one next month?
I'm gonna say we're going.
I actually grabbed the wrong kit.
I think we're going old school. I think we're going old school with this one.
How old school?
I'm gonna say mid-90s.
Oh no, it's not quite that old school, but it's a banger. 05, 06
Nice.
For the legends. Oh yeah.
Oh,
you know it's got the man on the back. Come on.
Yeah.
This is one of the best home kits they've ever had. So this bad boy, easily. That's for the members' legend status. Oh. But I went old school for all our YouTube subscribers this month too.
Ooh, that's nice.
The Sky Sport with the Del Piero, all right? So there you go. We got the January ones posted there, all right? Now, we're going to get to storm the barn, but first, I think it's time to trim the fat.
was gonna
All
say we
right.
have to fire up the grill. I think
Yeah.
get the steak knives out.
Let's go. It's time to trim the fat. Trim segment. You're up, buddy. Here's the arrow.
All right.
Let's trim the fat.
Love the horn. There
Let's
you go. All right. So if you guys aren't familiar with my segment of trim the fat, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically a few points or 3 or 4 points where it's my view on mainly Juve related. I don't know if I'll ever go off the board, but it's going to typically be Juventus related. So because we touched on the post match, and I don't like to kind of have it mix up with what we talk about and discuss post match, I'm actually doing a looking ahead to 2026, because as we know, in the next few days, it's going to be a new year. Buon anno to everybody if we don't obviously reconvene before then. So I'm going to do a trim the fat looking ahead to 2026 for Juve. So these are kind of my thoughts overall on what I think we're going to see and what I think is going to happen in 2026. So to kick things off, Juve are in the title race. They're in the conversation based on results, not hype. Stats will show. Yes, I know there's going to be some people coming at me and pessimists saying, hey, 2 games in hand for the top 3 clubs, but we're right there. We're within striking distance. We're one of the hardest teams to beat. We've only lost 3 games, but the draws are what will ultimately be our downfall if we can change those results around. They don't score a lot of goals, but we also don't really concede too many. We're in the upper half in terms of goals conceded and goals for.
It's
which
interesting.
Keeps us competitive. Right? We keep saying how watered down the league is. It's not, nobody's really running away with it, so we're right there. But again, that makes the margins thin. So we need to start scoring more goals, and we need to cut down on the draws. If we can do that, specifically in the next 5 matches, as we know our next 5 will put us in a good spot if we can get maximum points out of them. This statement of being in the title race, it's fact. We're right there. So I think ultimately we're gonna show it and we're gonna prove it. I wanted to wait until the next 5 matches just to kind of see where we end up, but I think it's safe to say that we're in the title race.
So you believe we're in the title race? I mean, yeah, mathematically we're in it. The funny thing is, you've got the title right there. Is Juve hot or not? We're left kind of feeling like we're still a little unconvincing, as the others are, right?
That's the thing.
If you're unconvincing and getting the results, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. It's like just finding those wins. I mean, you just gave away 2 Scudetti in back-to-back seasons to teams that were unconvincing.
Exactly.
It's like, and they just found ways to get the job done. So, yeah, we're in it. We're in it. Yeah, we're in it. I'll agree. We're in it. We're in the thick of things.
And again, just to kind of close it up for this one, like the next 5 matches, if we get max points, like I will be 100% stamp it like we're in the race, because the other 3 teams, Milan, Inter, and Napoli, all are going to be playing their makeup matches as well. So right now they have 2 games in hand for the most part, but it'll be pretty much even as we close out the month of January. So let's see what happens. There's some big matches in there, obviously mixed in with Champions League and Napoli in there as well, but I believe we're in the title race. So that's number 1.
All right.
For the second one for Trim the Fat, January equals defender or bust. If Juve are serious, January must bring a defender. Not a project, not depth for the bench. We need a defender who can rotate without a drop in quality, handle high-pressure situations, cover injuries, and without forcing tactical compromises. So meaning, we don't have to really switch things up. So basically, we need someone of quality, in my opinion. And I truly feel like one smart defensive signing could be the difference between top 4 security and the title momentum.
Hard to disagree. It's hard to disagree that it's defender or bust down the stretch, because the cracks are there. The cracks are there. I'm going to agree. I'm going to actually agree.
And so it's funny because it was a broad statement as defender, because now we can kind of nitpick. Do you want it to be a CB specific? Do you want it to be an outside player? This is where it gets interesting for Juve. So the other reason why I chose defender and not defenders is because I just don't have faith in the club to actually manage to pull off two signings. I know you guys were talking about this yesterday, and you were kind of giving some percentages or numbers on how many signings you think will come in. For whatever reason, I think like if they can focus all their time and energy on just hammering out that one solid defender, that, like I said, we need a quality guy. I don't want someone who's just depth or, you know, can come in on spot duty for injuries. Like we need a quality guy if we can manage to pull it off. And that'll be the difference between, like I said, fighting for top four and actually winning the title. So in terms of your preference, let's say, I'm going to ask you, in terms of your preference, if we had to choose, gun to your head, outside guy or center back, where would you lean?
So a lot has to still be determined. Is Spalletti ever going to actually make a shift, or is he going to keep it in this 4-2-3-1?
That's the yeah, agree.
Either way, I still think it's the same, and I'm not thinking hybrid, and I'm thinking legit center back.
Yeah, I agree, because I think that as much as you and I, we've talked about it many times, we want to switch to a back four. I think to keep the continuity, this three-man backline's working, as much as we may not necessarily like it, and we want to see it switch eventually to a four-man backline. I think the ship has sailed on that for this year, and I think that he should just keep continuity, bring in a natural CB that can play in a three-man backline, and just keep things rolling the way it is, and work with what you got. So, okay, so that's number 2. Got a couple more. Number 3, Ottolini must be trusted. We need to stick to a plan. That means trusting Ottolini and the sporting direction. No panic buys, no changing ideas every transfer window. Real success comes from continuity, building the squad step by step, not starting over every year. You could even change that to every 6 months, because it feels like that's what we've been doing the last few seasons. So if you want to compete long-term, for me, this is key.
Trusting Ottolini. I mean, I agree with it. I think if you're hiring somebody, you got to have the trust in them to do their job. My concern is that it's the Kamoli show wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. And so I guess to your statement, it would be that you don't want that to happen, and you want Ottolini to be able to maneuver and have some say and make his moves. Even though right now we have no idea what his moves are, right?
Yeah. And again, I don't ever want to base it off of the rumors of what we hear in the media, because I'm always the first guy to say like, I don't believe that. But with Ottolini's name comes some intriguing options, like a guy like Norton Cuffy with his ties at Genoa. There was also, I can't remember, there was someone else that was on loan there at one point that we were interested in, rumored in as well. The name slipping my mind, but I really feel like he's got a good grasp and handle on Serie A. And this is another thing. How often do we hear from our fan base that we want more guys that play or have played in Serie A, that have Serie A experience? So it's not specific to Italians, but Ottolini's got a good handle, I feel, on Serie A as a whole. At his time at Genoa and what he brought in, obviously he was a big fan of Miretti, which is why we sent him there on loan. So I just feel like he's got a good view and landscape of Serie A that can really help us, and we can benefit from that. So we should just trust in him, because at the end of the day, you're bringing him in to do the sporting job. And yeah, like I don't want Kamoli to be running the show.
I'm having a tough time with this one in general, because I have a tough time trusting Kamoli. And I'm also going to have a tough time trusting Ottolini, because of the fact that everything changes when you're at Juve, because it's a bigger scale. Everything's on a bigger scale, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, when Kamoli takes an interview and all he can do is talk about Toulouse, it resonates about as little as possible with me, because it's like, fuck, I don't give a shit. and it's not apples to apples, right?
That's
With
fair.
Ottolini, it's kind of the same thing. But I will say this, Ottolini was the best candidate, in my opinion, out of all the names we heard, next to Braz. So Braz made his decision. Ottolini was the next best that we've been linked with. And yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anybody get a job, get hired, and be a puppet. So hopefully, you know, he will be taken seriously and will have some play. And hopefully this group that we have developed can thrive and do well. So, you know what? In the nutshell, yeah, I agree. He should be.
Yeah. Like I said, it all ties into the sporting direction and just in terms of like building continuity. That's for me the biggest thing. So it's like, you know, we've seen what it's like to have turmoil year after year the last few seasons. So it's put up or shut up with these guys. You know, we just keep the continuity. So and so lastly, it all kind of ties in, which I like how this kind of set up. I'm surprised I was able to pull this off because sometimes I can't manage, but it all kind of ties into this last one for the season overall. If we're going to have a shot at winning the title, David and Openda can change everything. It's no secret up front, Juve needs more goals. Well, why not get our guys firing and bagging more goals? That'll change results, turn results for us. It'll keep these draws from constantly happening. Okay, we've had a better stretch lately, but you know, if we can start getting these guys firing, I think it's going to ultimately decide our success. Are we going to stick around as fighting for top four, or could be the difference between winning a title? David brings smart movement and helps with the build-up play, and Openda's speed and danger in behind. So getting one of them going and get one of them going, and defenses have to play Juventus differently. Get both going becomes much harder to stop. Games that were tight and stressful suddenly feel more under control. Goals change matches and title races. The psychological pressure on the rest of the league as well.
So if you take the names out of the equation, it's hard not to agree. We have to get the strikers going.
Yes.
He's got to find a way. So, I mean, is it going to be the difference in unlocking the title? It very well could be, because you can't always rely on Yildiz to be your goal scorer. You can't do that, right? And you've got so many guys battling certain things, but the striker role, we have to get these guys rolling. Okay? You have to get these guys rolling and firing. And I really stand firm when I go back to Miretti, in looking at Spalletti and looking at the coach. This is what coach is. This is where they come into play. This is where they make their money. You have to get dialed in on who needs to play and when they need to be in there. That's the biggest thing for Juve right now. The matchup yesterday at the start, I don't think he got it right. And when you talk about Cambiasso McKennie, I'll actually go as far to say that's one of the things that pisses me off from coaches when they switch unnecessarily. There was no need for that. Miretti should have been starter in that game yesterday if Jagrova couldn't have started there. Having one less attacker didn't do any favors to Yildiz or Openda. It changes everything. So, yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, in a nutshell, yes. Getting these guys going could be the difference in unlocking a title. You know?
Yeah, like for me, I think it is the difference because, I mean, we see it, and I see it specifically because of my, you know, affinity for David week after week after week. If these guys start bagging goals, results will come with that. Now, mind you, providing we actually hold it down on the defensive side of things. But I think if you had to look at one area and pinpoint one area that if we just improve a little bit here, this will make or break the difference between, like I said, just fooling around with being in the conversation for top four or actually competing and getting those points when it matters most. I think it's going to be the strikers. Getting those guys going.
One thing's for sure, I look forward to finding out. All right, if we can get these guys going and make that push. Hey, I just want to make some noise. The next four, let's go. We can run it. We can run it. Give max points. Put the pressure on. Look, I know about games in hand, but that's not a gimme. None of those are gimmies, you know, because kind of like we're asking the question, is Juve hot or not? Well, they're all asking the same thing. Nobody's super convincing. I think it's going to be tight and it's going to go to the wire. Let's see. We are going to get to Storm the Barn. We have a little bit of time for Storm the Barn, but I have a Storm the Barn that I'm going to start off with. But just give me a second while I write it out, because I want this to be a poll question for all of you as well. And Trim knows where I'm going with this one, okay?
Yeah. This is a good one. Even I was like kind of scratching my head. You can't really choose a wrong. There's no wrong answer per se, but full disclosure, in the green room was when we were talking about this to Berto, I said that I think it's going to be a lot more split than we think and not as one-sided, but this is why it's good for debate, and I'm actually curious to see what the end result will be.
We'll see if will Hart win the battle or not. You see the poll question has dropped there. If you had to start a franchise today with one of those players, if you had to start a franchise today, would you choose Nico Paz or Kenan Yildiz to start that franchise?
It's tough. That's a tough one. I think actually when we give our answers, I think we're actually split, which is why I think it's going to be a lot more of a 50-50 than some. So it's a good one. But I'll start with my answer. And so like I said, there's no wrong answer either way because both players are phenomenal. But the separator or the difference for me as it stands right now, not long term, but right now as it stands, I think if you're going based off of who is the more complete player, as it stands, for me, it's Nico Paz. So if I had to choose one, I would choose Nico Paz solely on he is the more complete player right now. And I think that the position he plays and occupies right now will make, just give it a little bit of a bump. And again, it's not a knock to Yildiz at all because there's no wrong answer, but I think right now Nico Paz would be the answer for me.
It's a tough one. It definitely is tough. I mean, I could fight this argument for both. I'll be quite honest. Nico Paz is a phenomenal player. He's so good, like well-rounded. I mean, you're talking free kicks, set piece specials, like the things that Yildiz still needs to strengthen. Paz, he's got them. So that's what makes this very difficult, right? I think Nico Paz is a little bit ahead, and I give him like the positional benefit of the doubt too, because it's in a position where it's hard to find like legit attacking midfielders that are so strong like that can really do it all and are pretty flexible and can adapt. My one thing with Yildiz is he's doing it at Juve under the microscope, under the scrutiny. Now, I'm not saying I doubt Paz can do it with a big club because I don't have the doubts there, but it's just right now Yildiz is doing it on a not so strong Juve, not one of the strongest Juves, with being legitimately like pretty much one of the only stars on the team, not having that benefit to kind of go out. Like if you dropped Yildiz on Como, does he have the same effect Paz does? The way teams play Como, the way Como plays with Cesc Fabregas, like
that's true. It's a good point.
I would expect Yildiz to have strong numbers just like Paz. You know?
Yeah.
It's tough to really put it there for me. And maybe my heart's coming into this a little bit. I could fight the fight for both. I'm going to give it to Kenan. I'm going to give it to Kenan just because he's at Juve right now under the scrutiny. And I got to say, dealing with it in a fantastic fashion.
Oh,
his maturity is crazy.
It's better than I think most would have expected, if that makes sense. Like he's handled it with pure class. Like Del Piero even said, he's the kind of person that you want to have in this kind of position in terms of like having the talent, being a superstar or on his way to being a superstar and being in that environment at Juve and representing the club. Definitely. And when it comes to Paz, it'll be interesting to kind of revisit this at this time, maybe even next season, because all signs are pointing towards him going to Madrid. So it'll be interesting to see. And I know we kind of talked about in the green room, like I said, like I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of starts off and hits the road with Madrid, kind of like bumpy, or kind of has a rough, rocky start, because like you said, to your point, it's getting acclimated to being at a big club. We've seen how it is with Madrid right now with some of those young guys. Again, not to the same extent, but specifically to a guy like Huijsen, it hasn't been all roses and sunshine per se, right? But again, Nico Paz is obviously a different type of player, and maybe has more of a different character to him. So we'll see how he ends up settling in there. But yeah, it's interesting to have that discussion.
Man,
for sure.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either. It literally comes down to preference. 84% in the poll have chosen Keenan Yildiz. 16% Nico Paz. I'll give it to Yildiz because of the big team play right now. He's at Juve under the scrutiny.
Yeah.
But I do overall feel Paz right as of now is ahead of him. And it's that big team. It all changes. It's all different when you're at that big team. So call it a tax, call it whatever you want. I don't know. It means something to me, at least. Now, storm the barn. Let's see what we got out there. Ask yourself, what percentage of high fee signings in the past 5 years have exceeded expectations? If it's high, great. If it's low, why do you think that is, and what actually needs to change? Oh, it's low. It's low.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't even think of one that's exceeded. Exceeded is the key kind of
exceeded
term,
expectations.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think any high fee signings have exceeded expectations. I would argue that barely any have met expectations.
Yep, agree.
You know, barely any of these big signings have come close to like matching or meeting expectations. Now the question is, why do you think that is, and what actually needs to change? Well, that is a fantastic question, but I really just think we have not been building teams properly. I feel like there's just way too much uncertainty. There's been way too much turnover. There's been way too much focused on the opportunities and not necessarily the right picks. I don't think that we are signing based on a culture, based on values. I just don't think any of it's making sense. And I think that's why it's all over the place and it's scattered. To be quite honest, like, I mean, you have a high fee signing in Douglas Luiz. It looked like nobody at Juve even gave a shit about him coming to the team. You know, you got a coach that looked like couldn't care less about the guy or getting him in the lineup. It's like, what are we doing? Are we working together?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for what actually needs to change, hopefully it has. Because I always say it's the guys up top. So hopefully this new management group can work together and make sense of how we build a team. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I'd be curious to like not put a number on it, but like for the sake of the storm the barn, if we put like, okay, big money signing, is it like 50 plus? If it's like 50 plus, then there's been literally
because I see Kalulu in there. He's not a big money signing. Like,
that's what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
Like, does Bremer count? Like how far? Like if we're going
40 million, I'd probably say, you could count that a big money signing for us. 40 is pretty good.
But even with him, like when he's healthy, 100% he's met expectations. I wouldn't say exceeded, but the biggest kicker with him has been the injury, right? So that's why I think it's the conundrum that if we're talking about Juve specific, that this is the conundrum, is that, and it ties into my trim the fat. That's why I was getting at, like, we don't have continuity from top to bottom, and we haven't for years. And it shows based on not only our play, it shows with our managers and the change over there. It's showing with our sporting directors and the change there. Just, it all stems from the top. So the sooner we can kind of nip that in the butt and start from the top down, just showing continuity and kind of the same ideas top to top down, that's when we will start to see a change with Juventus in terms of competing and kind of the idea as a club overall. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that with Ottolini it will change.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I think we need to synchronize with the coach. And I feel like that's another thing that's been lacking. And it's been rough. It's been rough for a while there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alex Juve. Top 3 Juve players so far this season. End of the year selection. For me, Yildiz, 2 Kalulu, 3 Kelly / McKennie. Top 3 Juve players this calendar year, I guess.
Yeah, 2025. Yeah.
All right. Yildiz, number 1?
I don't know if I have him number 1. He's in the list of the 3, which is crazy because I'm starting to get swayed recently by McKennie of all people. Just overall 2025. It's more recent. He's kind of turned it on. Going back to last year, he was kind of just okay. Kalulu, for me, has been solid since we got him, and I was actually going to bring it up when we were talking about him before. Revisionist history, if we're going back to that signing, do you remember how I had trepidation in that signing because I was like, what version of Kalulu are we getting from Milan? Are we getting the Scudetto winning Kalulu, or are we getting the towards the end of the road at Milan Kalulu that they wanted to ship him out? And man, has that paid off and backfired for them, right? If we're talking about Kalulu and how he's played, and they're kicking themselves. So I think for me, Alex Juve's pretty spot on. And then in terms of like kind of where you want to rank them, I might actually, you know what? I'm going to change mine. I'm going to take McKennie out only because it's been just recency. I'm going to put Loca in there. So I'm going to put Yildiz, Loca, Kalulu as my 3.
Yeah, I got a couple guys that, like I got Chico that last year I was happy with. I could see the impact always that he makes and how crucial he is for us in creation. This year, it's stepped up a bunch with Chico. Based on this section of the calendar year, I got to have Chico somewhere in there. Kalulu, this half of the calendar year, definitely in the mix, but I got to go Yildiz, Loca, Chico. So, top 3 Juve players this calendar year, I got to go Yildiz, Loca, Chico. That's for me. That's for me personally. But, man, the answers you could see here. You got Yildiz, Loca, Chico. You got Loca, McKennie, Kalulu. So McKennie getting some props in there. Yeah, you could kind of see there's some variance in opinions there. Loca, Yildiz, Loca again from Gio there. Yeah. So hey, it's nice to see him getting some love. And you know what? Hey man, Gio, don't hate on me because I'm getting it right and we're seeing it. Chico's undeniable. Okay? That's the smallest undeniable force you'll ever see in your life.
It's pretty damn small.
Chico Conceição. I saw people over Christmas getting the Chico Conceição figures and they're like, look at that. Life size. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Do you agree or disagree? These were the type of games we couldn't win with Motta and Tudor. Are we happy with Spalletti? I say yes. Changed our players' mentality. So first up, we wouldn't have won this game with Motta or Tudor. Speculative, but I mean, based on history, sure, probably not.
Hard to argue. That's for sure.
Are you happy with Spalletti?
So as it stands right now, I'm eating my words because I have said that I was not in favor of the signing initially and not sure if it's going to be for me, it was a short-term kind of solution, not long-term. As the season's starting to change and turn and as he's starting to implement certain things, and you could just see, for me, the easiest way to answer this is, the experience is what's showing and coming through in spades. When you have a guy who's an experienced manager, and we were dying for it for a while, to be frank, like I was, at least after Allegri left, I said I wanted. First, we were all about the project with Motta, and then the second that fizzled out, and I was like, never again. I'm like, I'm not going back to projects, or I want experience. So that's what Spalletti for me has at least going for him. And it's a clear idea, or so we think right now, that's coming through in terms of how he wants to play and a play style. So I think that's what Spalletti has going for him. And when it comes to playing these smaller teams, yes, for sure, like that's the difference for me in terms of getting the points.
I mean, I can't argue that we would have gotten the result with one of the other guys because the history is just not for them. They both sucked at adjustments. They sucked at some starting lineups, to be honest. Am I happy with Spalletti? Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy with Juve winning. Doesn't fucking matter if it's Spalletti or not. Juve needs to be winning. So I'm happy with the results. Has he changed our players' mentality? He's working on it.
Yeah.
But he also is not perfect. And I still need him to stop taking unnecessary risks. The one against Napoli was stupid. Stupid as fuck. And yesterday, he almost got caught again. Make no mistake about it. It almost bit him in the ass again yesterday. I'm telling you. You have an attacking-minded player in that role up top yesterday. It's already a different game. And it didn't have to be so overcomplicated. So, am I happy with him? Absolutely. But he still has work to do, as do the players. They need to continue working together to get to where I believe this team could actually be come season's end. Was there anyone at Pisa that caught your eye? Any one of their players? I don't think so.
The one guy I was kind of chuckling about was Angori. I don't know. He seemed kind of...
He got the early yellow like 4 minutes in.
Yeah, that's probably.
I thought their center back Garacholo was just a disaster, man. Like that guy was shockingly over aggressive, and I mean, he had a play on Openda where he wiped him out, cleaned him up, and just like Maresca standing there like an absolute moron, like just staring right at the play. Oh yeah, it's all good. I'm like, okay, no play for the ball is all of a sudden good, but. Talk about feeling old as fuck when Gigi Buffon's kid steps in. Oh my God, man.
He's one that actually, if we're being serious, he's probably the only one on that team that I'd be like down the road. And to think that he had a short stint at the academy and then just left, it's like, Jesus, what were we thinking? But also honorable mention to Calabrese. I love that guy. Calabrese, just solely on the name. So he's good in my books.
Dude, Buffon, though, like, I could see him getting away from it, though, man, because it's like, yeah, you're at the academy and stuff, but, like, I mean, your dad's legacy at Juve and stuff like that is just, like, go be your own guy and go, like, I totally get it. I mean, for the relationship, for the family and everything, it would be a beautiful thing, but I could totally see it from his perspective and his point of view. I just don't know if I would go to the route of playing for Czechia or Czechia, however the fuck you want to say it, because that's overboard. Seeing a Buffon play for Czechia is like, dude, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is what it is. But yeah, I would say that Buffon there stepping in was something. What do you call the American midfielder when he comes in for preseason after summer break? Wayston McKennie. Dude, that's not bad, Adam. That's not bad.
It's all right.
That's not bad.
He had a good one yesterday in the Army chat. I was hoping he would bring that one. I can't remember.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Well, Adam doesn't recycle material. If there's one thing he doesn't do is he does not recycle. So props to that one. Like it. Yeah. Like it. Now, let's keep things rolling. Let's see who deserves the post-match day. The architects of the Leaning Tower of Pisa for making it straight. Who gets the post-match day? It's got to be that CB, man. Caricciolo, man. That guy was just an absolute mutt. So
yeah, I
he
think
gets it.
I think we can go with him for sure because it's just that guy was reckless, man. Like,
Oh my God.
jeez.
Brutal. Brutal. 7 corner kicks, 0 danger. Have you guys noted any changes here since Spalletti is the manager? Sad. Nobody's been able to do it. I remember Tudor talking about how, oh yeah, no, we got to work on that. Like, it's terrible. Nothing changes ever. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Even defensively, choosing to, against certain teams to zone up is crazy. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Paz and Yildiz, could you imagine the future of that never happening? But Madonna mia, I wish if there's ever a day where you got Paz and Yildiz on the same team, like for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
because you know that those bastards will probably try to make it happen. Spoiled fucking pricks. Are we sure that Ottolini is coming? I mean,
True. I hope so. Is the ink dry yet? I don't know. Like,
fucking dude's been close to the job since August there. Would you sign Senesi in January to get him before anyone else? I'm not in a rush for any of the targets. Let's put it that way. To beat anybody to Senesi, I'm not really crazy about it. I mean, I'd rather personally Muremovic, so would I rush to sign Senesi? No. Depending what the demands are and what people are looking at to give him, I wouldn't just jump on it just for the sake of beating teams. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, in terms of him as a profile that we could get, like, sure, but at the same time, like, if he's got a lot of interest and drumming up a lot of interest, which is surprising to me in January, then I don't think we ultimately get him. But to your point, I wouldn't rush to go out and sign him. For me, and for you, the priority is Muremovic because it's right there, sitting there. And
yeah,
I want him because of the type of player he is, but specifically to beat out. Like, I'm not letting him go to Inter. No fucking way am I letting him go to Inter or any of those other Serie A clubs that are now all of a sudden interested. It's like, no, bring him back. It's the easy choice, the easy option. He's playing in Serie A, getting quality minutes with Sassuolo. Like, it makes too much sense. Then you worry about Senesi or whoever in the summertime.
I just feel like Senesi's like, he's 28, he's in the like 29, so he's kind of like beyond those first couple years of prime years, and he's played like nowhere of note. Now all of a sudden it's like we gotta rush in for that or whatever. It's like,
it's another classic, like, player that plays in the Premier League that now is going to make a move from a mid-table or smaller Premier League club, and he's going to make a move, and it's like, I don't know.
Go get Muremovic.
Yeah.
Go get Muremovic. Tony Roast Beef reminding us that Douglas Luiz will be back next year, so they could try to make it work then. Yeah, it's probably coming right back. But he might be the guy for Spalletti. Imagine that. Hey?
Son of a bitch, that ball, he's gonna turn Douglas Luiz's career around. Next thing you know, he comes back and just balling out. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Wouldn't that be something? Shagrova or Conceição as starter when both fit?
I want to see it but then you have to move Yildiz. That's the thing. So
it's Shagrova or Conceição as a starter when they're both fit.
Right now it's Chico. Has to be Chico. You could see it yesterday. It's not like, I was actually not surprised. That's not the right way to put it, but like, yesterday for me cemented that, like, he cannot be taken out of the starting 11 when he's fit. Like, he has to start. I'm not going to go as far as saying every game, because there's going to be games where he has to come off the bench due to rest and whatnot. But like, when he's fully fit, he's starting 9 times out of 10.
Come on. It's Chico. Because it's not just a matter of getting fit. There was a sequence yesterday. David threw a ball across. If Shagrova was 100%, he's on his horse. He's 1v1 with the keeper.
He let it go. He
pulled up. Yeah. He's not 100%. Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
If that's Chico, he's clear cut in on the goal. We have an opportunity, a great opportunity to score. it's not just a matter of getting fit for Zagrova. It's a matter of like showing that you can have those impacts consistently. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Because if you're looking at Zagrova, like even in some of the cameos, he didn't have like full effect all the time. But he is very effective. So is Chico. You pick either one of those guys against tired legs, they're doing what I'd expect them to do. The thing is that it's not just about fitness. He's got to replace all the extra intangibles Chico brings. And yesterday, you could tell that some of the nonchalant talk that was coming out about him, he was trying to fight that back with more defensive effort yesterday in key situations later on down the game. You could tell. That's just a given with Chico. So does that slide from one moment to the next because it's not second nature for Zagrova? It might. So right now it's Chico Conceição.
I know the solution to getting Zagrova 100% is the shorts.
It's the drag that slows him down. It's creating friction in the pubalgia. Because
it's holding him back. He can't run.
Man, you imagine running while you got that parachute there, the extra friction in the pubalgia, the groin there. He's got this. It's not good. That's like what happens.
He thinks he's like an early 2000s like NBA like the.
He thinks he's fucking Allen Iverson out here.
Yeah, those guys. Like I remember, we all wanted the shorts literally just above the ankles. Like he's got to get nice 5-inch shorts. Give him the freedom to move. And then we're good.
Spalletti needs to go get him a pair of fucking the Platinis from back in the day. That were fucking.
Then he'll be like a dart. He'll just down the field like no problem.
My God, he pulls them down too. The guy pulls the shorts down.
He came on and he was pulling them. I'm like, dude, there's nowhere else to go. Like you're gonna be playing Sons of shorts, just Mutan. That's it.
One day he's gonna get those shorts grabbed onto because they're so big that a defender he's gonna get by somebody. They're gonna pull him down. And he's gonna be caught with his Mutande. This guy. Is Kenan Yildiz the best talent we have had since Cristiano Ronaldo?
Pure talent?
Because De Ligt was supposed to be the defender of all defenders. That didn't amount to it. Yildiz is ascending. Some out there will want to challenge me on Huijsen, and I ain't fucking having it. No way.
No.
Don't even bring up that dark-haired Ellen DeGeneres Sule. It's Yildiz is definitely like the top talented since Ronaldo.
Sure.
Not Chiesa. No. Duchamp, no. It's Yildiz. It's Kenan Yildiz. Swarit, I know you will say Fede.
Take it easy. Yeah.
Take it easy. Oh. Take it easy.
But he started yesterday, so there's that.
Sweet trophy for him.
Yeah.
I started a game. Woo! I turned down the Azzurri. Yeah, big pat on the back, motherfucker. They turn down your country. Jesus Christ. The Azzurri. We got a Buffon playing fucking Czechia. We got fucking Chiesa turning us down. Gattuso, stop the calls. Okay? And for fuck's sakes, his hair is terrible right now. Chiesa's hair is like just looks like a mutt, man.
Well, he's like, going for the British look, man. All the guys over there, they got the long flow, the little.
It's like the 14-year-old shag dog you forget about that just lays in the corner of the house all fucking day, doing nothing.
We all had that look. I had that look when I was 14.
I guess he's kind of sitting in the corner of the locker room at Liverpool and nobody knows about him and he's just kind of hanging out there. So, maybe. Whatever. Look, you guys, we had a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun. And right on cue, Swarit, giving me the gears. Get Berto out of here. You know what, Swarit, I always like to turn the screw there on Chiesa, whatnot. But no, in honesty, Yildiz is the top talent since Ronaldo. And I think it's clear cut. All right? Now, Juve, go lock it up. Okay? Go lock it up and show him that he's our guy. Guys, had a lot of fun today. congratulations to the kit winner. I see the message in there that you've reached out to us. We'll get that shipped out. Congratulations to Giuseppe Cataldo, who won the 120th anniversary. And you guys saw what's up for grabs in January, okay? And look, Santa's already watching for next Christmas, okay? God damn it. Bring us a fucking Scudetto this year, Santa, okay? How's that?
Some guys have a devil on their shoulder. I got Santa on my shoulder.
Well, tell them to bring a damn Scudetto, otherwise Cempaccio no scafo. Su cornuto da. Okay.
He's got one in his bag of goodies.
Nothing like ending a show with Paccio no scafo on Santa. Hope you guys had a good holiday season, okay? I like that Juve delivered a victory. We're on fire, okay? One way or not. Is Juve hot or not? Unconvincing, whatever. Look, a sign of progress, I always said, is winning the games that are ugly as well, even when you're not performing your best. But we've had solid displays leading up to this. I think it strayed because of Spalletti. But in true Spalletti fashion, since he's joined us, the adjustments have always been spot on. Let's keep it going. But let's hope that we don't even need those adjustments moving forward. All right? We got Lecce on deck, and you know the drill. I'll bring you the news. We'll have a match day live and then a watch along. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your weeks, everybody, and Happy New Year's, okay? But fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Let's go. And let's see if we got a little bit of magic for the push down the stretch of the season for 2026. Let's go, everybody. Take care.